Today, Sam and I are joined by the one and only Neil Warnock.
I forgot some of my clubs, let alone the players. That many clubs.
You know what, Neil? I'll ask you who your goalkeeper is, but I think we'll all just guess.
He never got the star with the papers, but he were always 8 out of 10 for a manager. I was wet through, water coming off my bloody nose, put my arm round him, and I said, welcome to your career. I apologise to everybody that should have been in my team that I forgot about.
It's time for another Ultimate 11, and today Sam and I are joined by the one and only Neil Warnock. And Neil is going to give us his Ultimate 11 of players that he has managed.
I don't know how he's going to pick this 11 with the amount of clubs that Neil's had, but good luck, Neil, for that. Good luck,
I was just saying, Sam, I forgot some of my clubs, let alone the players. That many clubs.
We could have done a full squad, one from each club.
I know.
Like, if we'd had more planning, yes.
I know.
Okay, then.
Well,
do you know what, Neil? I'll ask you who your goalkeeper is, but I think we'll all just guess and just know who it is going to be.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I had him at three clubs, maybe 4 clubs. Paddy Kenny.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had some good goalkeepers. Starting in Notts County with Steve Cherry and Steve Francis at Huddersfield, and I've had some really good keepers in my career. But Paddy Kenny, obviously, I signed him. He was at Bradford Park Avenue, and I signed him at Bury, and I sent him out on loan to oh my God, what do they call it now up near Scarborough? Whitby.
Whitby, yeah.
He went to Whitby and he rang me one night. Gaffer, it's freezing up here, he says. I said, I know, but it ain't good for you, son. When you come back here, you'll be flying. But I signed him 3 or 4 times. And he what I liked about Paddy, and Sam will tell you about goalkeepers, they're only as good as how many mistakes do they make in a season. And he never hardly made a mistake. If he made 5 mistakes in a season, so he was, brilliant, really, Paddy Kenny.
Right, I think we all knew that was going to be Paddy Kenny.
We did.
But we don't know your defence, so give us your back 4.
Well, my 2 centre-halves, I've gone with Craig Shaw, who I had from Scarborough onwards, who developed into one of the best centre-halves in England. A typical, what I call, bread and butter centre-half. I do, I smile when I made him practice taking free kicks, and he eventually took free kicks for Everton. But a great lad. And the other centre-half was Sean Morrison at Cardiff. Probably not the best player, but as a competitor, good defender. He was my captain. He led the line. He led the dressing room, and did everything. I had Chris Morgan at Sheffield United, very similar to that, to Sean. And the bread and butter people, really. My full-backs were difficult because, quite honestly, I can't remember too many of them. I went with Clintill. At left back because I saw him a few weeks ago.
All right. So you can remember him.
Yeah, and he used to kick chunks out of everybody, Clint. Wasn't the quickest, but what a good pro he was. And I rescued him from Stoke. He had an injury for ages, and I treated him just with a cotton wool. I just let him train, and he ended up playing 40-odd games, whereas he'd only played 20 in 2 or 3 years
so he kept him
before.
Fit.
Yeah, kept him up.
Kept him fit to play.
Yes, and he was superb. And I went with Chris Short at the back, the right back, because what a lovely lad he was, and a decent full-back as well. I remember him marking Ryan Giggs at Meadow Lane.
Yeah.
And I remember Giggsy coming to the bench and saying, "Can you get this rash off me?" And I used to say to Chris, "Go with him. Wherever he goes, go with him." And he'd never give him a kick. Yeah. So I went with Chris Shaw. Chris, brother to Craig, who were super lads. Midfield, I went with Gunnarsson at Cardiff. He was everything a manager would dream of him. He just, week in, week out, he never got the star with the papers, but he were always 8 out of 10 for a manager. Sam, do you know what I mean?
Was he Icelandic?
Yes. Oh. Always first.
It's tough them. I had a couple of them. Icelandic at Bolton, like me.
Well, I'm hoping, I looked after him. I'm hoping he's going to help me look and go and see that. What do they call the stars?
Oh, yes. Northern
yeah,
Lights.
I want to go and see
Northern.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that Gunners fixes it up for me.
There you go.
He was super. And Michael Brown, who I rescued. I rescued again from Man City's hell house. He was at Portsmouth but did add some great years with me. And he ended up going to Tottenham when he left Sheffield United.
Right, yeah.
So a lovely lad and all, Michael. And of course, I had to use Adel Taarabt. You couldn't really go anywhere without putting him in the team. He didn't get player of the season at QPR. Paddy Kenny got it, and Adel walked out of the presentation. He walked out of the presentation. I went after him. I said, "What's up, Adel?" He went, "I'm not a player of the year. What, Paddy Kenny?" He said.
Was it voted for by the fans, or did you choose?
No, I know it weren't me that chose it. No way. It was the fans, yeah. So, but he got a great contract at Benfica because of me, Adel. He rang me when I was at Middlesbrough. "I am fit again, boss." I sent me a picture. I said, "Adel, I can only have you once." So that's all. So Adel, I've got Adel down. Yeah, my main striker, I've got to go with Heider Helgeson, who was the best. Andy Booth was super as well at Huddersfield.
Yes.
Andy Booth, very similar to Helgeson. He led the line that year when we got promotion. He was unbelievable.
No, Ronnie Jepson.
No, Ronnie Jepson. No, he was a
right-hand man.
He was a 60 grand sign from Exeter who made Andy Booth. I know it sounds silly, but he made Andy Booth the player because he talked and a good pro run.
He scored the winner for you for Huddersfield when I was my first game in the league when I was manager of Blackpool. You wouldn't remember that.
At Blackpool?
I
do remember. On a bank holiday, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah,
Red Hot Day.
Yeah.
It were. Red Hot Day. And I've gone with two lads from Crystal Palace. Like I say, I can't remember everything because you've just thrown this at me. So I've gone with Wilfred Zaha and Victor Moses.
Right. Oh, amazing.
And those two were special. I mean, Victor Moses, quickly, I'll tell you a quick story about Victor. Why I love management, he was a frustrating player, Victor. And we were playing at Cardiff City one day, and I'd had enough with him. And I said to him this particular day, "Right, tonight we'll decide again." I used to use Bromley. You've got to show me that you want to do it. I said, with the ability that you've got, Victor, you're either going to end up at Bromley or you're going to be in the Premier League. And I want to see you in the Premier League. But you've got to run back and tackle. You can't just stroll around. He was unbelievable at Cardiff. We won the game. Either 1-0 or 2-1. I think it was 1-0. We won the game. It was peeing down with rain. I went on the pitch after. I was wet through. It's water coming off my bloody nose. Put my arm round him. And I said, "Welcome to your career." I said, "From now, you're never going to look back." Because that was the minimum requirement today. And you can do even better than that. Then me moving on a few years, he goes to Chelsea as a fullback. Never tackled in his life before I sub up to him. But anyhow,
Conte turned him into a fullback.
Yeah, he went to Chelsea, and then he played for Nigeria, right, in the cup, in that cup what they have, the Africa Cup, and he won Player of the Series. Yeah, player for Nigeria, and he won it. And I text him, "Congratulations!" Right, he come off the pitch in a game, and I text him from England. I ain't got a clue what the time limit, what it was, difference. And within 5 minutes, he texted me back, and I put on my text, well done, son. Can you remember Cardiff?" That's all I put. And he texted me back within 5 minutes, and he said, "How could I ever forget?" And I've got goose pimples now talking. How could I ever forget Cardiff? And that's what made it. And that's what, when you look at somebody like that, and Sam's had him in his career, you're so proud that you've made somebody out of, could have gone the other way. I mean, I know there's other ways that, people have gone backwards when they should have gone forwards, but it's lovely when you get a lad like that. And never forget Victor Moses. And he was brought up in a really horrific, I think he saw his father shot dead in Nigeria, and he never spoke when he come to Palace for so many years. I remember saying to Gary Izzard at Palace when I went in, with no pace, and I said to Gary Izzard, Gary, have we got any young lads that's got any pace? He went, "Well, Victor Moses and Sean Scannell, they're quick, boss. Get them over." I said, "Are they good enough to play?" He went, No, not yet. So get them over. So I got them over. I said, "You two, you're quick, aren't you? Are you good enough for the first team?" Victor, yeah. Sean Scannell, yeah, all bit bubbly, Sean. And I said, "Right, you're playing Saturday." And Gary, I could hear him coughing behind me.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Gaffer?
Yeah. And to be fair, they never look back, pair of them. They're different careers, but lovely lads. And it's great when you think back about memories on that.
Brilliant story.
Zaha.
And Zaha, by the way,
Wilf.
yeah.
Talking about Wilf, I signed him
Mental.
second time I was back there from Man United.
You brought him back for a bargain, didn't you?
And I said to him, "Did Alex say..." He said he's never spoken to me while I've been at the club. I thought that was strange, Sam. So, I found that strange, but I mean, what a
He
player.
retired though at the end of that season, no, Alex?
Yeah,
So that was his last season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. He signed him, but he
Yeah.
said he didn't have any relationship with him.
No.
But I mean, ability-wise, it's my goodness.
no.
You're watching, like I used to watch. Like you can slow down and put pause on your television. I watched him do a trick once in that corner at Selhurst Park, and I froze it, and I went back, Sam, and I still couldn't see how he'd done it. His feet were that quick.
he was the most fouled player,
Ah,
or one of the most fouled players in the Premier League.
it was, huh?
I was moaning at referees all the time about the amount of times you get fouled, and the bloody referee got play on. And I was going to, and I thought so we're supposed to protect our best players, aren't we? Like, I mean, they go, what do you mean? I said, he's the most fouled player Crystal Palace have ever had. He gets fouled every single, and you don't. He has about 4 tackles before the referee decides to book one of the players. You know what I mean?
I don't think they could see his feet, his legs properly. Are you with me? He did it so quick.
He did.
I don't think they could actually see it at most at times.
But he was the saviour for many years. He's one of the biggest.
The reason why they
stayed
kept
up,
in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he got better, even in the short time I was there. His final third deliveries, crossing and scoring, got better and better, and he was really, really good. And Josh Townsend on the other side, and him, when you're struggling at the bottom of the league,
You've always got a chance.
You've always got a chance with them, like you mean.
Yeah.
And Ben Teke up front, I thought, I got sort of defence out. I'm all right.
Yeah, he's a handful, wasn't
He scored 15, 16 goals.
he? Yeah.
We've got a few. Andros Townsend.
Did you have Paddy McCann? Had he retired then?
He retired then, yeah.
What a lovely lad, Paddy.
Yeah.
He was a decent centre half.
Well, thank
There
you.
we go. Anyway.
I love that, the variety in your team as well. I love that. So,
Can I apologise
please do.
to everybody that should have been in my team that I forgot about? And then when I get the phone calls, I'm sorry, but they did put it on me quickly.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Blame us, not Neil.
Okay.
Neil, thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank
Sam.
you.
Again.
Neil Warnock's Ultimate 11.